Guys, we are on the precipice of glory. As you can see in the title, we are getting closer and closer to Honkai Star Rail, which means that we still have a good chunk of characters to talk about. And today we're going to be talking about a buffer of sorts, one of my favorite characters coming from, honestly, closed beta 1, and that's Asta. So let's go and get into it. But actually, before we get into it, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, leave a comment. Would love to hear you guys' opinions on this. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, we are here to talk about the Fire Harmony Path character known as Asta. Now, like I said before, Asta was one of those characters that I actually used a lot, and honestly, she is regarded as one of the better 4-stars to have when it comes to the game. Now, I would have to agree, because Asta helped me through so many battles in general when it came to the closed beta. Now, of course, this might be different. It might be different coming into, the whole game itself on the 26th, which, by the way, we'll be streaming for 3 days most likely on this game, and I cannot wait until I get to. But anyways, however, there might have been a few changes before that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about first her path, which is the Harmony Path. Harmony, as you can see right here, those who follow the Harmony Path admire understanding, support, and cooperative behavior. And what the actual gameplay description is, characters of this path provide buffs to their allies and cooperate with allies to boost the party's overall battle power. This is extremely important because, again, buffers do play a giant role in Honkai Star Rail. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Asta's skills here. We already know how this goes. She is a fire damager, so it makes sense. 50, 100, and 110%. Meteor Storm deals fire damage equal to 25, 50, and 55% of Asta's attack to a single enemy with 4 more bombardments. Each bombardment deals fire damage equal to 25, 50, and 55% of Asta's attack to a random enemy. Now, this is crucial because she does do AoE, which is fantastic, and she buffs in general when it comes to later on in her kit, but this AoE works really, really well, especially if you're fighting a lot of fire weakness characters. Now, I loved using this skill because it was just so good, especially with their speed. You're going to want to power that up as best you can when it comes to her. Speaking of speed, her Astral Blessing, which is her ultimate, increases speed of all allies by 36, 45, or 50 for 2 turns. This is crucial. And I said this in a previous video that speed is going to play a very big factor. Because again, this is turn-based gameplay. So you want to make sure your speed is up there. So be prepared. This is going to be extremely important, especially the reason why you would want Asta on your team. Now, talent is Astrometry. I think I'm reading that right. Gains a charging stack for each different enemy hit by Asta, plus an additional stack if the enemy hit was fire weakness. For every charging stack Asta has, all allies attack increased by 5, 10, and 11% up to 5 times. Starting from her second turn, Asta's charging stack count is reduced by 3 at the beginning of every turn. Now, this could be a turnoff, and I can understand why, but there's also a reason why you kind of want to get her to her, their Eidolon 6, because this gets changed by a lot. I'll tell you that. Well, not by a lot. There's one thing that makes it like really overpowered in my personal opinion, but we'll get to that. Miracle Flash, the technique that she has, immediately attacks the enemy. After entering battle, deals fire damage equal to 50% of Asta's attack to all enemies. You want to boost her attack and speed as much as possible, which is weird because again, she's a buffer. So you'd want to increase other stuff, but everything is based on Asta's attack. So you want to make sure to capitalize on that. Now, Asta's traces here. The first one, the Major Trace, unlocks at A2. Asta's basic attack has an 80% chance to burn enemies for 3 turns, making the enemy take fire DOT equal to 30% of Asta's basic attack damage at the start of each turn. This one, Ignite, a Major Trace unlocks at A4. When Asta is on the field, all allies' fire damage increases by 8%. This one I don't think is going to be too big of a deal unless you're going to pair her with a fire damage outputter like Himeko. So I wouldn't rely too much on this Major Trace. Now, her unlocks at A6, Constellation. Asta's defense increases by 6% for every current charging stack she possesses. So if she possesses the max stacks of 5, she's going to get a 30% boost in defense. Sorry, boast. You know, boast. We're going to say boast from now on. Now, let's talk about our Eidolons. As we've talked about before, and I'm just going to preface this, Eidolon 3 and Eidolon 5 are just increases to her talents, so that's not a big deal. That's whatever. Asta Eidolon 1, Asta's skill will deal damage 1 additional time to a target enemy, which means that you could get more stacks, which is perfect because every different enemy you hit, the stack goes up, you get more defense, you get more attack, depending on what goes on. Eidolon 2, after using your ultimate, Asta's charging stacks will not be reduced in the next turn. So instead of it being like, okay, every turn you lose 3, it's going to be every other turn you lose 3. So you could get those 2 turns to max 5, which is what you want, and then lose the 3 after the next turn. So that's crucial. And honestly, I think that that's going to help out a lot. So Eidolon 2 already makes it better, but let's keep going. Eidolon 4. Asta's energy regeneration rate increases by 15% when she has 2 or more charging stacks. This, again, very crucial because you want to be able to use that skill consistently. Now, granted, using this skill, you can only use it like once in a while, so you might not get the stacks that you want. However, it gets better when you get to Asta's Eidolon 6. Asta loses 1 less charging stack every turn, which means instead of losing 3, you lose 2. Now, you may not think that's a big change, but it is. Because again, you're always going to stay positive. And if you have her at Eidolon 6, you're going to obviously have her at Eidolon 2 and Eidolon 4. And that all coincides together. I think Asta is one of the few 4 stars that all the Eidolons tie into her actual, like, specific quirk, if that makes sense. Now, for me, it's tough. I was looking through trying to figure out what set I would run her on. And honestly, I think I would run her on a 4-piece Musketeer of the Wild Wheat and possibly a 2-piece of the Firesmith of the Lava Forging. Or I would just run her 6-piece on the Musketeer of Wild Wheat. Let's go ahead and talk about that set first. 2-piece, or sorry, not 6-piece, 5-piece. 2-piece and 5-piece increases attack by 15%. 4-piece, when the wearer uses basic attack, increases the wearer's attack by 20% and speed by 10 for the 1 turn. Now, this is going to be crucial because, again, you're not going to be able to use your skill every turn. So this actually kind of works out. You would be able to use the basic attack, you get that 20% extra attack bonus, and it works perfectly with Asta. Or if you wanted to do the 4-piece of this and run a 2-piece of Firesmith of Lava Forging, you get an increase in that fire damage by 12%. But honestly, looking at it, to be quite honest, I think I would just run the 5-piece Musketeer Wild Wheat because you're going to get that benefit of Asta's attack percentage being higher, or attack in general being higher, and that would benefit, you know, your team in general when it comes to her skill, giving those bombardments that she gives off, and increasing your allies' attack by that 5, 10, and 11 up to 5 times for the allies, which is really crucial, again, if you want to boost up as much of your attack percentage as you can with your whole team. So, I've rambled on long enough with Asta. I think that she's going to be one of the better 4 stars at the beginning of the game. There is another buffer that I will be talking about later on in the week that I think is going to either be as equal or possibly better than Asta, and we'll talk about her a little bit later, but Asta, I think, is going to be one of those ones that early accounts are going to heavily benefit from. Now, guys, of course, if you like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. Guys, I am so excited that we passed 700 subs. Very thankful to all of you, and welcome to all the newbies here. I would appreciate it if you guys checked out all the rest of the videos that we have on the channel. Now, of course, I want to give a big shout out to my boy Stray, who is actually the creator of the music in the background, making it Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle or Dragon Ball Legends lo-fi mixes and making them available to all content creators. So big shout out to you, Stray. Love you, dude. Love you, dude. Love you, dude. You know, all that stuff. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we will catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe, y'all.